Man, I hope you're not last, Arrow. If you're last, that means literally no one is coming into stream today. Which wouldn't surprise me, because it's a late stream today. There's your ASMR can opening. What's up, Cicerone? Ha, Arrow, you weren't last. You were first. Anyway, hi guys. Welcome in. I'm sorry I'm having such a late start today. I'd rather be late than not be here at all, but it still sucks being late. Today is Abby's last day of school, so Jana, being on the PTA board, had a bunch of stuff to do over there, so which is cool. She got like some awards and stuff for being such a big contributor and everything, so that's cool. Mateus, hi. Welcome in. So today we're working on the Rivari stuff. There's two parts of this, like, well, yeah, I don't know. There's a storyline that through the Rivari that branches, and I've done the other half of this mostly. It's like 95% done. Ish, yeah. There might be more things we add on to it because I would like to add some more cool stuff, but for now it's mostly done. Yeah. So now we're doing the Rivari stuff today. There's a quest that, like the main quest line or whatever, that I will not be spoiling. I guess I can tell you what the quest is about, but I'm not telling you like anything else about it, so we won't have any spoilers really on the stream. But if you don't want to know about these quests or whatever for some reason and you want to play it blind, then maybe this isn't the stream for you. Just a heads up. I don't have any plans really for these quests yet, so if you have ideas, please let me know. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I think, Rivari that can give us quests. What's wrong with this guy? What are you doing? I don't know what's wrong with this guy. He is a Rivari. The rest of them are like that, right? He has a broken texture, maybe? Who is he? Koruk? Let's go NPC editor. Actually, let's just go look at Koruk. Let's not open editor. Somewhere in here. Style. Pull this down. Uh-oh. Did this outfit get broken somehow? Hang on. Let's see if I still have this in my download somehow. I do not. Now I do. I don't know what happened to that one, but I think we fixed it. There we go. Koruk is a female. I think their faces got messed up. Maybe not. It's probably fine. Anyway. Howdy. Ah, beat you to it. What? What happened? What's going on? Never mind, I got it. Also be right back, gotta get the headset that can get sweaty. No, I came back from a run. Got it. I thought Red was telling us that he was gonna get sweaty this stream, like he was gonna go all in on lurking. Put some real elbow grease into this lurk. Hey, what's up, Summon? How are you? How's you're still doing? Are you still doing the UEFN stuff? UEFN stuff? Oh, sorry. Dogs are gonna start barking for a minute. Shouldn't be too long though. They'll settle down. Doing some UEFN stuff. Nice. Are you still working on your game? Very tired? Uh-oh. Yeah, I was up till like 2 a.m. last night. I wanted to get some more work done on this, and I did, and I fixed some issues we were running into. Hopefully. And I added 2 new Steam achievements to the game last night, which was fun. Looks exciting. They released the start of Scene Graph, but some of the stuff I'm working on is still experimental. Nice. That's cool. Yeah, I don't know. Moz keeps trying to get me to work out to do it again, and I don't know. I just don't play Fortnite, so I just don't know anything about like what players are, what like they're trying to do. Like I feel like I'm designing for like a generation that I just do not understand at all. And I'd rather just make games that like I feel like, I don't know. Like I understand games as a whole, but I don't understand like Fortnite, I guess. I don't know. You know PUBG. I know about PUBG. I've never played PUBG. Also working with someone on a farming type game. Nice, that's cool. The beauty of UEFN is you can build whatever you want. I'm building a completely different type of game than Fortnite. And maybe if I stop thinking of it as like how am I gonna make a popular map that people who play Fortnite are gonna like, and start thinking of it as like this is just a different tool to make games in, and I just make whatever I want, then maybe that would be better. I don't know. I guess the reason, like, the only reason for me to go to go into the UEFN would be to make money, right? Which is probably why I feel so weird about it and I have such a hard time with it, is because I don't look at like game development as like, I guess I look at it a way to make money, but my goal in game development is not like money. It's just making something that I love to make, or I want to make, that I think is interesting or valuable or whatever, or just something that needs to be made. I don't know. And so I think going into UEFN, it's like a totally different mindset, because it's like, if I just want to make something cool, I'm just going to use Unreal Engine. Why would I use a stripped down version of Unreal Engine to make something cool if that's my goal? You know what I mean? Like, why make it harder for myself to make something cool if that's the whole goal? I don't know. It just seems weird. It just seems like the only reason to go to UEFN would be to like tap into that market and try to make some money from it. And so if that's not the goal, then it feels weird being over there. I don't know. For the customer reach, I don't know. I feel like I have a pretty decent customer reach with Unreal Engine and Steam. Steam has more players than Fortnite does, or yeah. I said players as in like, I don't know. It felt weird when I said players because people don't play Steam, but they are still players playing games on Steam. Anyway. There are games like Zombie Survivors, then there are roguelikes for the customers. Yeah, I don't know, maybe. Fortnite is basically PUBG with building, or without, depending on the mode you play. No, yeah, I've played Fortnite. I probably have 10 hours in Fortnite. I have played it. I don't enjoy it per se, but I have played it. I do get it. Okay, let's go something generic here. Let's give Thivra here a quest. Thivra is a farmer, obviously. Maybe she wants some, I don't know, like what? Like some fertilizer? We don't have any fertilizer quests or anything like that, or uses in the game other than actual as fertilizer yet, because it's new. So it makes sense that she wanted some. I don't know, it's kind of lame. Maybe she just wants you to gather something around Bone Reach. Maybe she wants to check out the new... There's a... If we can find some. I know where... There's one right here. This is a new thing that's in Bone Reach that we use for some potions. Maybe she wants to like study it. Or like maybe she wants to... Oh, here's a crazy idea. I don't know. I don't know if I want to introduce any more mechanics. It'd be kind of cool if she wanted to study like herbs, because she thinks she can grow them. When before this, herbs can't like be grown by like players or whatever. They just 10 hours isn't playing. I think 10 hours is enough to understand what a game is. Anyway, maybe she like wants to study those herbs, and then she could teach you how to craft like an herb bed or something where you can like grow herbs. I don't know. I don't know, that could be kind of cool. 10 hours is winning the first 2 games because you're going up against bots, then thinking this is the game for you and buy a couple of skins, and afterwards get wrecked by all the sweats. Yeah, that's probably, that's more like what I experienced. Yeah. It's hot AF here in Moab. Yeah, I bet it is. It is 73 and sunny here today. It's very nice here. But we were up into the 90s last week here in Washington. But yeah, Utah gets pretty warm, especially southern Utah. It's very warm. I like the herbs idea. I do too. I think the idea would be like, you know how like you keep like or you can keep like a little pot of like, I don't know, parsley or something like that, like on your like windowsill or whatever, and then you just kind of like snip off what you need and it just kind of keeps growing. But you just keep it alive for a long time. I wonder if we could just do something like that, where it's like we just give like a little pot with like an herb in it, and then every like so often it just kind of regenerates that herb. Like you just pick it when it's ready, and then it just goes back to like a seedling. Or you just do like a generic like where are they? They're probably not in here. God. It's gotta be one over here, right? Where are they? Do we not have any of these like anymore in the game? We used to have these little teeny tiny little like grass looking like pieces. I don't know, maybe we don't use them anymore. I guess not. They're just like little plant things. Like this guy. You just do like one of these is like the like just looks like this, and then it grows into a herb after like a day or something like that, and you could pick it, because then you could have a bunch of herbs around your house. Maybe it'd be kind of cool to make like a new crafting station where you can like craft them. I don't know if it'd be a skill or not though. Very nice. Oh wait, freedom units. You can't call everything freedom units, Red. They're all different units, even though they're all freedom based. You thought Celsius for a few seconds? Yeah, no, 73 Celsius would be a little nuts. I'll post a photo or two in the Discord of my adventures. You should. Base up tomorrow. Are you nervous? It's not you seem a little nervous. That sounds fun. I don't know if I could ever do it, but it does sound fun. In America, it's freedom units. That's how it works. The rest of the world just makes sense. I don't know, man. You know, like, I wish we would switch. You know, I think the metric system does make a lot more sense. But the problem is that anyone who didn't grow up learning it is just going to be, no matter how well or no matter how much we get good at like understanding it, like it'll always just be us like converting our previously understood units to whatever the, you know, metric system is, which sucks. Which is why we'll probably never switch to it, because like old people are old people, you know? For the first generation, yeah, well, like, I mean, like all the generations that already have been using, you know, freedom units. Yeah, but like, I don't know, like I have fully embraced like meters and centimeters because of Unreal Engine. Like I can pretty much tell you like I could probably tell you like how many meters someone was like from me, right? Mostly just because of Unreal Engine. Because it uses meters and centimeters. But that's it. They're so easy. I don't know, we don't use it. Yeah, agreed. Yeah, and same with like, yeah, everything else. Yeah. Celsius is the one that like, I don't know. I guess it does make sense. Like, why isn't 0 just freezing? That makes so much more sense. But also, like, even then, it's still kind of arbitrary, like, because, like, freezing for water, but not freezing for any other elements. I don't know. But I guess water is kind of important to us, so maybe that makes sense. Anyway, it's all arbitrary, you know? Like, even your metric system is still a, you know, a freedom unit to some alien species out there. But I do agree that metric system is better. Makes a lot more sense. Anyway, okay, so I like the idea of this herb thing. How do we get them though? How do players, and also like maybe players can't learn to craft them because that would be difficult. But then how do we get them? The crafting thing wouldn't be difficult. Sorry, that was my brain like skipping over the details. The crafting them would be overpowered because then you already know the players are just gonna flood their entire like plots with every herb they want, and it's just gonna be an abundance of potions. I juggle both and hurts the brain sometimes. Yeah, I bet. Yeah, I do struggle with that too, especially when I'm trying to convert things from people. And I know everyone's struggling right now because the new tag on the Discord is KG, but I don't know what else to make it. If you have other ideas, me and Jana considered kind, K-I-N-D, for Kindred Games, but like that seems kind of dumb. I don't know. So, and we got to use the sword because like nothing else makes sense for us as a community. So it'd be really weird to have kind and then a sword. If this is a specific item, single use for this herb, we could do that too, I guess. But there's just not like, I don't know, like I want to give like players like the most useful herb then, you know, not just this one. Ooh, here's an idea. What if it's like an herb planter and it just grows a random herb every day? Or maybe you put an herb in it. Maybe it's like one like herb planter box and you put an herb in it, like you open it up and place the herb in it like it's an inventory, and then every day it just like you can harvest it. Nice, got a sword stream. How's it going? What's up, golfer? Doing pretty good. We're kind of just designing some quests for the Rivari right now. An herb planter box. Yeah, I kind of like it. I guess the problem with it is, how do you like if you place an herb in it, does it then like, maybe that works actually. What if you like place an herb, you like open it up, right? When it's empty, you open it up and it's just like a place, like an inventory. You just drop an item in. And then once an item is in it, it just instantly converts it to like a new item or whatever that can't be opened. Then you just have to wait for it to grow, and then you can interact with it. And then it'll just keep regrowing. So all you can do is pick it up by holding F, right? Or wait for it to grow and then harvest it. I don't know. I don't know if we have time to even implement something like this. So maybe this is a bad idea right now. This could be a future thing. Because it's the 17th. This update has to be out next week. So I want to get everything finished up this week, actually, is my goal. I want to get everything finished by like Friday, and then I would just want to test all weekend and make sure everything's 100%, fix any bugs there are. Yeah, and I'm actually thinking about sending it out to a couple people. Golfer, if you and Pearl want to get on that list, message me, let me know. If anyone else wants to stream it or make YouTube content for this update before it comes out next week, like if you want access like this weekend, then message me on Discord with a link to your channel or whatever. So I mean, I don't really care that much about viewership, like that doesn't really matter to me, but still, it would just be nice to know you actually have a channel before you get access to the game. And also so I can like catch the content when it comes out. Anyway, okay, so let's just do, maybe she just wants to study the herbs, and maybe she gives you, it's like a lightning herb. Maybe she gives you, a trinket. Oh, you know, we do have a thorns trinket, right? Don't we have the thorns trinket and the bunny hop trinket? I don't think those are being used anywhere, are they? Nowhere. Nowhere. We have 2 trinkets we can give out. Hop would be so cute to get the bunny trinket from. I don't know if I want to give 2 trinkets though from these quests. That seems like a bit overkill. Hi. I do see you. Absolutely. Pearl asked me when it's coming out. She wants to stream it. Cool. Awesome. Can we give Pearl and Golfer early access to the update? Janice says yes. You're in. I haven't played in a couple of years. Is now a good time to hop back in? This second update would be a really good time to hop back in, sure. I think anytime there's an update, it's a good time to jump back in. You haven't played in a couple of years. What was the last update you played? Or like what zone was new when you started playing? Farmlands? See, a couple of years. Probably Farmlands. Maybe Windless Woods. If you haven't seen Delver's Pass yet, then this would be a good time to play again. If you've seen Delver's Pass, I guess it's still a good time to play again, but it's not going to be as crazy. There's not going to be as much new stuff. It's like a whole new zone. Anyway. Florence could be cool. Maybe she... They don't really have thorns on them, but maybe she just wants like I don't know. She doesn't have to have a quest. I just thought it'd make sense to give her a quest. But I want to give like an interesting reward, not just like some gold. Team said November 10th, 2021. Been watching the project since Deck Devlog 0. I don't think I got past the starter place because I was confused. Oh, well then yes, this would be a fantastic time to jump back in. The game has come a very, very, very long way. We have a much better tutorial now. I think the weakest part of the game right now is probably Azura Island, and not because like there's nothing to do or it's boring or whatever, but there's just not a lot of direction. So if you were confused about like what to do or where to go, that does make sense. And not a whole lot of that has changed, other than the tutorial kind of leads you into like, this is your goal. Now you can go do this. So the goal after Tutorial Island is just pretty much like Sen. I don't know if you must have met Sen in the tutorial, but you probably don't remember who that is because it's been a while. So Sen is your like best friend who's like out here adventuring with you, but you guys don't hang out together, which is a shame. Whatever. He tells you that the goal is to get to Farmlands, which again, even Farmlands doesn't really give you any direction. This game really does need more direction for players who just need that kind of stuff. It was really designed for players who like just wanted to explore and figure stuff out and just go like see what there is to see. And if you're not that type of player, then you will struggle a little bit with this game, I guess, which kind of sucks. But that's like on the list to be fixed though. But yeah, your goal from Azura is to fix the ferry until you get to, and then once it's fixed with all the resources you need, then you get to Farmlands. And then from Farmlands, the goal is to open up the door for this rock slide here. It's not here, but it's actually here. There's a big rock slide here to get into Windless Woods, which is the next area. And then the goal there is to get through the gate. which is right here usually, but it's unloaded right now. And that gets into Delver's Pass. And then that's pretty much the whole game right now. But there's another zone coming in the works, and that'll be probably the final zone. And then I think if we do more zones after that, that'll be DLC. I'm a little worried about performance. I'm actually even like we're gonna do some testing, but I'm a little worried about Bone Reach because Bone Reach is pretty massive. Let's zoom out. We'll look at it. By the way, someone recommended that when I do my streams, I label the stream what I'm actually working on, because then it like get people excited about watching the stream more, especially on YouTube, because we don't have a lot of viewers on YouTube. And so I was like, okay, I'll try that today. And I remember now why I don't do that, because I just keep it generic, because we end up getting way lost in like a tangent or working on the wrong things, which happens. Anyway, Bone Reach is a huge area. It's really big, and there's going to be a lot of junk in it. So I'm a little worried about performance when Bone Reach launches. Right now, everything's just unloaded when you're playing, except for like a handful of things that are like right here just to make it look nice when you're on Azura. But I'm just worried that once we like actually have everything loaded in here and you can go there, the game performance is just going to tank. So I'm actually considering making like a pass that you go through here, and then when you get there, there's like a big gate up or something like that, and I don't know how we're gonna do this. Probably have to have like a guard or something you talk to. I don't know, because we can't do that either. Well, maybe we could actually. I don't know. Anyway, we might have to have a thing where like you have to load into Bone Reach, and it might be a separate level entirely to keep performance better. The problem with that, works great in single player, no problem at all. Like, yeah, you have one loading screen, you have to like load between zones, no big deal, who cares? Well, there's two problems actually. One problem is that if you try to like leave Bone Reach from anywhere other than the pass, you're not gonna be able to like find anything else, right? It's all gonna be unloaded. So we're gonna have to put like a bounty box around it, and you'll be leaving the known world, so you like will get teleported back into Bone Reach. Not a huge deal. That happens in lots of games. It sucks here because like right now you could technically swim all the way over to Bone Reach. Well, once you've unlocked this area, you can. Then you could go to Bone Reach if you wanted to. It's all empty, there's nothing there, but you could. Oh no, actually you can't. You still get knocked out. Anyway, when the game was done, you would have been able to do that. But the biggest problem is multiplayer, because if we teleport the host, or any player actually, to Bone Reach in multiplayer, it has to load all of the players in there, because the way we host games. So either it would kick you out of the multiplayer world, and you'd then be hosting your own new game server. And then everyone else would just be stuck around still if you were a client. If you're the host, it would just transfer all of the other players with you. And ideally, it would transfer all players with you, even if you weren't the host. So we had to do like a big warning pop-up and say like, one player is trying to travel to Bone Reach. Do you want to travel with them? Or do you accept this, or like vote, do you also want to travel or something? And if everyone votes no or whatever, or if anyone votes no, then you don't get to go to Bone Reach. I don't know how to handle it yet. That's like the worst part about it. But yeah, that's the reason like there are other zones like the desert here, and then this is supposed to be Everwood over here. Actually, this is supposed to be Blackrook Vale, and then this is supposed to be Everwood. And then we have North is North, and then Iris Lake and Mistaken Isles. We have a lot of zones left, and if all of this is loaded in and working, we're gonna have I don't know if the game's even gonna run. So these might end up being DLC, and it might just be like, we might end up like cutting them out of this world actually, and just having it like the DLC as you like travel to a new world with these zones in it. Like we might just be cutting all of this out. So like this is just the known world, and then like this is Tirwin, and then there's another island like over here that you can see in the distance, whatever, that's like a new island or something. That's like actually that's where the desert is. That's where Everwood is. Everything, like it'd be a whole new continent, and then you would just load into that world and play through there, which I think would be fine. World of Swords and Magic looks nice. Thanks. Or you make Bone Reach smaller. Yeah, but there's only like so much I can do of that, right? Like we can keep cutting things down smaller and smaller, but eventually like we still have a huge world. And I'm not really opposed to making Bone Range smaller, but it is the final zone in the game, and like that's like the end game content. It's going to be the hardest area in the game. Like it's going to be really challenging. There's going to be a lot of enemies that are kill you in like one hit. Not hopefully not actually one hit if you've actually used buffs and everything you're supposed to use. But still, like, and also a lot of this is already decorated. I'll show you. Oh god, I forgot how many levels there were. I forgot that we put these all in different levels. Hang on, Unreal's taking its sweet time to load them in. I felt weird trying to learn how the game works and progress when every week it seemed like a system would get a massive overhaul. I think the combat balancing was a little tough back then too. Yeah, so that kind of stuff is like, we're not really changing big stuff anymore. There's one more really big overhaul I do want to do for the crafting system, and that's pretty much it. There's not a whole lot else that we're changing, so now might be a much better time to play. I think like back then, yeah, like when the game first launched in like late 2020, it was in a really, really bad state. I think everyone on the team agrees that it was pretty garbage then. And it took us like 6 months to a year or so to like really like hone in on what the game was meant to be and like take all the feedback we got and like make it better. So during that like first year of development in early access, there was a lot of sweeping changes, like huge changes that like totally changed like everything about the game, which I think is a good thing. I don't think any of those changes were like unnecessary. Maybe some were unnecessary. All right, so pay no attention to anything that's like just a white box. Is just that. It's just a white box, like block out, like all this. In fact, most of this probably won't even be here. We're probably going to cut all this. We'll see. But yeah, so you go through Bone Reach here. There's just so much content. There's so much stuff in here. There's no content yet. It's just all empty. But still, like, I just don't want to like cut a lot of the stuff out because it's already all level designed and stuff, right? Like we already have like characters in place, and like there's so much stuff like ready to we just have to design content for. It's just like ready to go. So it seems silly to like delete all this stuff just because it takes up a lot of space, you know? There's so much stuff to explore. Like this is all ocean, but ocean's not loaded in right now. Why isn't it loaded in? I don't know. Must just be at a different level. Anyway, there's just tons of stuff to explore. So I don't want to cut it, you know? There's just too much. I do remember Wendy making all this stuff. Yeah, Wendy did like 80% of this work at least. Probably more than that. She did a lot of work. And so a lot of the stuff, like, I don't want to like just cut out all of her work. Anyway, I feel smaller, more handcrafted worlds that are separated would be better. All of this is handcrafted, and this world is already like a small handcrafted world that we have painstakingly placed. Like pretty much every blade of grass has been hand placed. Actually, they all have been. Like all these, like we went through and like with a little paintbrush and like painted in where we want the grass to be. Like everything in here has been hand painted and handcrafted. Like nothing is procedurally generated in this game at all. So yeah, like it's definitely a much smaller handcrafted world than something like I don't know what, I can't think of any open world games that like are not. I guess something like No Man's Sky or something like that. Like none of that is like handcrafted. That's all like procedurally generated, as far as I know. And our entire game is much, much, much smaller in like scope and size, but it's all handcrafted and built with purpose. For the nanite now works on foliage in UI5. It sure does. The problem is that you can't use cards. So these are all foliage cards, as you can see, because I'm bad at foliage. But yeah, these are all foliage cards. You can't use those. All these leaves would have to be modeled by hand. And not only that, but we're not in UE5, so it doesn't do us any good. But it would be cool. Even these are kind of cards. Oh no, they're not. They're 3D models. Anyway, let's build a quest here. Let's just have her. She's just gonna bring you, or she wants some of the herbs. And the reason is because I don't know. She needs an issue. What's her problem? She's a farmer. What's her issue? Did you mention another zone besides before Bone Reach a few minutes ago, or did I hear wrong? I mentioned a handful of zones. There will not be another zone before Bone Reach for now, I don't think. I named all the zones that are supposed to be in the game, but for our 1.0 launch, we're kind of just thinking Bone Reach is gonna be the final one. Here, my new plan is if 1.0 goes well with Bone Reach, we launch Bone Reach, we have a final boss fight, we have like a full storyline that starts in Azura, carries through to Farmlands, goes into Windless Woods, and then Delver's Pass, and then back over to Bone Reach. If we can do all that stuff, then what we'll probably do is, and if we launch and it's like good and everyone likes it and it's well received and we make some money again and we can afford to work on it more and people still want more content, then what I would probably do is build a whole nother world in a separate map that players can load into. Or, maybe we just call it quits there, I don't know. Maybe if it's really well received, we just make Swords and Magic 2. I don't know. Make a whole new world. I don't know. Someone's sick and she needs the herbs medicine. Oh, that's a good idea. Maybe, that's not a bad idea. There's a forest fire going on, so we could have like a lot of smoke in the area if we wanted to. We could have like some smoke going through. Maybe that's kind of like making people sick or something. Or maybe someone being sick is a little generic now that I think about it, but we could do it. We could just put someone in here. Maybe she just needs them for a ritual that they're trying to do or something. Or maybe she... I don't want to make another Rivari because we only have so many outfits. And I know that sounds lazy, but like, we just don't have a lot of outfits to go around for them. So I don't want to like reuse it again. Plus, if we make someone sick and you bring herb, we want to make them better. And then we have to like handle like 2 versions of the character and like... I don't know, it's kind of annoying. Is $1,200 a reasonable price for a freelance artist to make 2 anime style 3D characters? Oh man, gotta love the Sims music. I don't know, $1,200 seems... Anime style 3D characters. I guess it depends on how high quality you want them to be. Are they just like generic base models? I assume they are. And is it just like a male and female version? Or are they completely different? Do they have hair? They're just base models? Then yeah, $1,200 is a good price for just 2 simple base models. Yes. If you want like a bunch of hairstyles and stuff, I would just do that separately. Or pay for them separately, or have them make them separately, whatever, and just pay for like per hairstyle or whatever, or a bundle. Yeah, if you don't want like clothing, if you don't want like accessories, you don't want like a bunch of unique stuff with them, then yeah, $1,200 is like, that's a great deal for two like super unique, or two, I don't know. Honestly, maybe $1,200 is too much. Because you could probably, I don't know. You can probably just buy them, Sky. Like if you're just gonna do the base models, if like really they like, as long as you like the size of them, right, and the shape of them, like you're just gonna cover them up with a bunch of hair and like accessories and clothing and stuff. So like, if I were you, I'd probably like maybe just go buy or go like find some base models on like Turbo Squid or I don't know where else, maybe Sketchfab, or maybe just Fab in general, I don't know. And then hire an artist to like make all the accessories for it. So it's too much. I was only willing to pay $200 actually. Yeah, if you're only doing the base models, here's the thing. Whenever I sculpt a character, is if it's something that's going to be like anime or like semi-realistic or whatever, and not something like totally unique, I usually just go get a base model and then just modify the base model until I'm happy with it. Like I already have like a couple base models that I use, that I've always used because I like the style of them, and then I just sculpt a little bit on those. So yeah, $1,200. Yeah, I would say if you were doing like a whole character with like clothing and everything and tons of accessories, or just like a whole totally unique character, $1,200 would probably be really cheap, or would be really cheap for two characters. That'd be probably too little. But if you just want the base model with like a naked character, essentially, I think you're paying too much for $1,200. And honestly, I don't think you're gonna get anything so unique that like you're like, yeah, now no one's gonna recognize this character from my game. Like it's gonna feel super unique. Like you're just not. Like especially if you're doing anime, you can just go buy some anime base models. I wouldn't even like, I don't know, like you're just not, like anime characters are just not that unique that you need to like make a custom one for your game. I would just say have custom accessories for the characters, and that's where I would spend your money. Or just do it myself. I don't need AAA quality ones, and I need a female one myself as practice. I made a female one as practice, which didn't look too bad. Yeah, again, a lot of even AAA games will just use a base model, or AAA artists will use a base model and then just sculpt on it or change it however they want, make some adjustments, modify like how thick their waist is or how big their head is or whatever. And all that stuff's pretty easy to do if you have a good base model. So I would say just go buy some base models and then just modify them how you want, and you're good to go. I purchased some super cheap for free, or free female anime characters as well. Not sure if I'll use them. They are too high quality for me to match later on. Yeah, so again, that's what I would probably do, is I would just say, you could also just like pay an artist to like retopologize to like make a lower poly version of it if you wanted, or just reduce the poly count if you want something a little more like lower poly, if that's the problem. And then like I said, just spend your money on like buying, like having an artist like build like clothing or whatever to like fit them, or like hairstyles, whatever, because that's what's going to stand out anyway, right? If you use a character from like the Epic Store, or not the Epic Store, from Fab or whatever, that has like all the hairstyles and everything on it, then you're gonna see that in every game. But if you just use a base model, even from even from Fab, for even the same character, right? But then you have custom hairstyles and clothing and like skin textures and like stuff like that on top of it, then like now your character looks completely unique and like players will never recognize it, right? You are welcome, Sky. Oh, the price includes 20-ish hairs, 5 to 10 beards and mustaches. Okay, all right, sorry. That's not too bad then. The hair is like, honestly, the hair is probably just as hard to make as the whole character, or pretty close to it, right? That kind of stuff is like more complex to make. I miss that though. Haven't caught streaming in a while. How's it going? What's up, Wonderland? It's going well. There's a big update coming out. I'm really excited to show it off, but I don't want to spoil too much. So we're just working on some quests right now for the Rivari that are they were very, when Delver's Pass came out, it was sort of like phase 1, and then I kind of gave up on the game for a while and moved on to other things because I was just burnt out. So this update is meant to like finally finish up Delver's Pass and put all the rest of the content in that was supposed to be there. And I'm finishing up this week, and then it should be out next week. So yeah, things are going well. I'm excited to work on Swords and Magic again, which is kind of new for me. Anyway, yeah, back to the discussion about the zones. I love the idea that we just, you know, have a whole new world to put all this stuff in. And we totally could. I'm honestly thinking that, like, if we're gonna do that, it almost just makes more sense just to make it like a sequel. Like, I don't know, like, it seems kind of weird to like build a whole new world with new zones and everything in it and then launch it as like an update, right? Even like a paid update, even like a I don't know, maybe like a $10 DLC or whatever would make sense. But at that point, it's like, what if we just made a sequel that was just like a whole other island and a whole new story? I mean, I don't know. Is that crazy? Does that feel just like terrible? Elden Ring just did it, right? Yeah, I was just gonna say, Mateus, like, if we just did like a sequel, then you could just do like it could be a whole separate standalone game or a sequel or something, and you could literally just bring your character in. Like, we could just leave the same item library and keep all the items and everything, so all of your items would exist and work still. But you could also just play a brand new character. I worry about how the hell we would balance that. That would be pretty difficult, but we could do it. If we do multiple zones in it, like we do in this one, which I think we would, we could do a thing where, like, maybe if you import a character, it just starts you in a different zone based on the character or whatever. And we would just have to like level up faster or something. I don't know. S&M2 would be hard. I mean, the thing is, we would literally I would just use the same, like, I don't know if I'd even like duplicate the project. I feel like I'd just use the same project and we just have a whole nother like world. I don't know. It'd be kind of weird. Oh, that could be kind of cool. We could just change the monster level based on your character level. That wouldn't be too bad, I guess. Bringing a character's gear sounds nice, but it feels like it would be a lot of work just for players to swap out for new gear. No, moving characters over would be really easy. Like importing your character or whatever. Like, we could literally just build like a quick little like prompt and just be like, do you want to I could even like find your old character save or whatever, or your game save or whatever. So it'd be really easy just to be like, do you want to import these characters? And then you just choose like a character to import. That's actually really easy to do on my end. This is so feature creep, you guys. This is like not so feature creep. This is like way beyond anything we should be thinking about right now. We still have a whole zone to make. Like, this is crazy. I'm just saying, like, I know we have a lot of, like, I would love to do like Iris Lake would be awesome. Like, I would love to like see that come to life. Same with Mistaken Isles, that'd be amazing. Like all the purple fog and like the spires that like stick out of it. It won't look anything like the thing we're looking at right now. It won't look anything like this. The idea for, it's similar, I guess. The idea for Mistaken Isles is like hexagonal. Like, have you guys ever seen like those salt cliffs? Hang on, let me pull up a picture of them. No, it's not the salt cliffs. What is it?
Listen.
What are they called? It's like it's like the hexagonal. These. Right? So the idea is like a bunch of, like, the game is already like makes perfect sense for this kind of like shape, right? But it'd be like big, like these would be like massive cliffs, and they'd just be like clusters of like 3 or 4 of them to just like grow up, and then you'd have like one would like stop and someone would keep going, right? Like, I don't know, it's hard to explain. But it looked like this, but like they're giant, right? And they'd be covered in foliage and like grass and like vines and everything, and like trees growing out the side of them, everything. It'd be like that. So imagine like this is like big towers, right? Big towers that are made of like these hex kind of like shapes or whatever. And then but like mix that with like Avatar like the James Cameron, is that his name? Avatar, like that Avatar, not Airbender Avatar. Anyway, so like imagine those two like worlds combined, and it's just a bunch of pillars like sticking out of the ground all over, and then you just like you just glide between them and like climb up through them and like explore or whatever. Herbs, kindred herbs. Yeah, you guys. I told you this was gonna happen. This is a total ADHD squirrel moment. Yeah. That's pretty much the story of my life, though. That's how it works. I don't know. I love the idea of it. I love the idea that like we have like, I don't know. I would rather do, let's get rid of all this bone rage so we just put in here. I would rather, like, I think it'd be cooler to do like each like new zone is like a DLC, but it makes a lot more sense that it's like a whole new like island you discovered. And I don't think each zone should be its own island. That just doesn't make sense, especially like the Mistaken Isles and stuff like that would just be confusing and weird. So I think it would have to be a whole new world where we can like somehow fit all these things together, and then make it a DLC like that. But then like at that point it's sort of like, if we're gonna make a whole new like world that's like the same size as like Swords and Magic, and we just keep all the same like features and just add new content to it, then like why are we not just making like a sequel? But then like I don't know, because then there's like, if I was gonna make a whole new sequel, then we just I don't know, it's just there's a lot of things to consider. Nature has granted us the gift of growing food, and we must honor that gift lest the spirits turn from us. I trust you to care greatly for this gift, outsider. Okay, so Thivra here wants some herbs because she wants to make some special fertilizer. No, we can't do that. Join the crap out of Seeking Adventure. Cool. I mean, that's good to hear. It seems like everyone likes it. There's been some feedback on it, and we've actually implemented a ton of the feedback already. We actually have a new demo that's like ready to set live. We just never like thoroughly tested enough to actually like set it live. And then I kind of moved on and started working on Swords and Magic again. So it's kind of just on hold again, which is fine because the game needs a lot more wish lists before we launch anyway. We have, I think it's almost 2,000 wish lists, which is pretty good. I'm not actually upset about that at all. I would like 10,000 before we launch, but we haven't done any marketing at all. We like posted on like Twitter and YouTube, and that's it. And then we did the Next Fest, which I guess the Next Fest could have got more attraction or attention. Attention or traction, both those things. But I don't think we did enough pushing for that. But yeah, we're gonna be doing a big marketing push for that when it comes out. So yeah, and Seeking Adventure is like on the list. Like I'm pretty sure after this update we're gonna go back to Seeking Adventure and probably launch that before we do Bone Reach. I might be working on both like consecutively, or sorry, like in parallel. So we'll see. Let's just, she's trying to get rid of some thorns. Okay, here we go. This is what we're doing. She has thorns in her garden she wants to get rid of. Let's just put some thorns in her garden. She wants to get rid of them. So she wants to make a powder or whatever that does it. She's going to use the thorns, and then she's going to give you a ring from that. How's that sound? Let's make these like oak wood. Yeah, is this a good, this is a fine story. This is good. Cool. Does that sounds, that's perfect, right? That works. Oh, we need to make sure we're in the right level though. Otherwise they won't be here. Okay, Thivra. We need a new branch over here. This needs, hold on, I think we have the guards on this. Zolvira. Nope. We are doing has reputation, it looks like. We took that off. I don't know why. Sorry. I don't want to spoil this. You can't spoil this, sorry. Yeah, it looks like we're doing reputation. So we had to make one more quest for this guy too. He wants you to find... Actually, I think you guys can already like talk with him. I don't think there's any spoilers in here. Okay, we took this part out of the quest out. Never mind. You guys cannot get to this yet. Some of you may have already seen it. We took it out. Okay, so you find the... Okay, yeah, it looks like we're just doing reputation. So let's go back here. We're just going to do... As reputation. We spelled reputation wrong, or the spelled Rivari wrong in here. I don't know what we need. Let's just say like 50, I guess. I don't know. Let's see. They call you outsider, but maybe you wouldn't be anymore. Let's add more onto this. Sure, I can help, or... I'm busy right now. Okay, and this would start your quest. Start quest. Let's call this Rivari underscore Thorns, I guess? Sure, that's fine. And she would say, $10? I think 10's enough. Let's do... Yeah, let's do... Sure. What are they called? I don't even know what these herbs are called. Well, I think it's Thunder Root. Yeah. Okay, so there's your quest. New dialogue here. We're gonna check this one if you have the quest. Let's see, has quest. You know, one of the biggest regrets that I have with Swords and Magic is that I didn't realize that you could do like non ID related like variables, or like for like quests and items and stuff. And if I could go back and change it now, and it's way too late to do this now, so there's no way I could, then I would make it so instead of having a quest ID, we would actually just drop in the quest like data asset. So I could just pick the quest from a list and then just, yeah, it'd be so much freaking easier than using IDs and having to deal with typos or remembering things, and like it's just so dumb. I have to leave. Bye. See you later, Matthias. Yeah, same here. Gotta take a shower and take care of the cats before bed. Bye, Red. Look, you lost him. I gotta say, I enjoyed the crap out of Sneaky Adventure. She wants to cook something special for her kid. Oh, that would be cool too. Sorry, Golfer. That was actually a better idea. Well, we're already invested here. Sorry. This is also easier. Is it pretty easy to add new quests with the system you have? Yeah, adding new quests isn't hard. It's just annoying because I have to remember this ID. That's the only real drawback to it. But yeah, it's pretty easy to make a quest. This will be done in like 5 minutes probably if I just focus on it. I'm capitalizing Thunderroot just because it's the title of it, and I just think, I don't know, it probably doesn't need to be capitalized. Let's not capitalize it. It's not special. Okay, and this condition was Rivari _ Thorns. Pass on has. We're gonna have 2 options. We're gonna say not yet, and this one is going to have a condition. We're looking for quest advance. No, quest. Can advance. What's it called? Can do all advancement. We're just copy pasting this everywhere to make sure I don't spell it wrong anywhere. We're just gonna do start on this because we're just gonna have one leg of the quest. Okay, and this is going to be, here they are. And then she'll say, oops. I not crafted it, I fashioned it. Okay, and then we complete quest. Boom. Okay, now all the dialogue is done for the quest. Oh wait, one more thing. Not done yet. One more. Quest complete, check. Rivari Thorns, pass on complete. She's gonna say that's it. Just super simple. It's fine. Okay, now we open up our quests. We add a new one. Call it the same thing. Oh no. Sorry. Thorns. Status new is fine, I guess. We could do needs testing. Quest name. Let's call this a thorn in my side. I don't know. Let's just call it Thorns. Call it just a Thorns Day. That was terrible. I don't just call it. I think the thorns are a better idea. Oh, okay. I need to drop as well. Grabbing drinks with a buddy. Have fun with herbs. See you later, golfer. Thinking aloud, it would be nice if when you first meet this tribe, you could choose to fight them or befriend them. It's nice giving players the ability to choose. That was originally the plan. They're too important for the quest here, and they're too important to like let you make them enemies, unfortunately. And yeah, like I don't know, that was the original plan, was that you could like either fight them or yeah, like you could even like, the original plan was that you would like could befriend them, sort of like the people in town don't like them and they discriminate against them, and so you were supposed to like convince them that they were better, that they were normal fine people or whatever, and that there was no reason to dislike them. Or you could like join the people in town and like fight them, because yeah, there's like a lot of prejudice against them. But as I kind of developed the story more, it was just sort of like having big branching things like that are cool, but people get kind of upset about them. And we don't get me wrong, there's still a big branching thing with this quest. you still definitely choose between them. But the problem is the combat thing is just confusing and tricky to work with, because if you can fight them, then it temporarily lowers your reputation with them. And then the problem is that if you did the quest, or I don't know, it's complicated. It's complicated, and if you are friends with them for some reason, and then you accidentally attack them because they're combatants at that time, and you could do that just like you can with the guards in Azura, and you can't fight them, then it like ruins the quest line, right? And you have to wait until that like cools off where you can talk to them again. And I just don't want it to break things, because I just know it's just not, our system is just not built for it, unfortunately. There are like ways we could have done that cleaner, but the story just didn't make sense for that. So let's just call this a thorn. We're just calling it a thorn on my side. It's fine. It's a fine quest, whatever. Quest favor. This is gonna be Delver's Pass. This is Thivra. Is that her actual name though? I think it is. Sometimes they have like Rivari _ Thivra and stuff, so I just want to make sure we got that right. Not secret. In-quest log, yes. Gold reward, sure, let's do 250 gold. Item reward is going to be the trinket. This is going to be trinket _ thorns 1. Reputation reward, we don't need reputation for this one, it's fine. Group Rivari. Not repeatable, no trigger items, parts, just one. Just call it start. That's it. Oh wait, we need one more for completed. I think it's completed. Right? Nope, just complete. Yep. Okay, title is we need a part name, so that's what it's gonna be called. Thivra, the gardener, the Rivari gardener, asked me to collect her 10 thunder root to clear out some thorns in her garden. That's it. I'm not gonna put a location on here because there shouldn't be one, because she doesn't know where the thunder root is, so she wouldn't have marked her map or anything, so there shouldn't be a location. Advancement condition is gonna be collect. Turn in NPC is gonna be Thivra. NPC display name is Thivra. Advancement condition is gonna be, I don't know what this is called. Let's just go find it. Material underscore thunder root. See, I have to like go in and like copy paste everything in here. But imagine if I could just like drop down and type in thunder root and then it'd find the item asset and I just click it and it's just done. That'd be so much nicer than having to like remember all these IDs, and it would save a ton of time. It'd be so much cleaner. And that's what we're doing for Seeking Adventure. Every single quest and item is all a data asset. Anytime you need to oh, this requires 3 of these things, we just drop it in there and say 3, and then we choose the data asset and it's done. It's so easy. And little things like this that just like add up over time that are really frustrating. Display only quest name. I don't think this matters. No world events, no items to remove. We're all good to go. That's done. I thought there was like a notes section. I guess that's not for this. That's fine. Okay, that quest is done. We could test it, but I'll just wait and let testers test it because I'm confident it's going to work. And I'll probably have Jana test it with me actually later. Would it be hard to create a system to convert IDs to object references? Yes. Well, no and yes. It would be hard to build a system that like, because there's so many places where you use the IDs, like there's dialogue, there's like the quest data table itself, there's just a bunch of places. It would be a nightmare to like set up all those things. But like the actual like input an item or like an item ID and output a data asset, or like the data like itself or whatever, easy, which is what we do everywhere. But yeah, like actually building a tool to like convert it all, not as trivial as it might sound, unfortunately. But yeah, these are all the little things that these are all the reasons like I don't want to keep working on Swords and Magic much further past 1.0, because it's just very abrasive to work on. It's very difficult to like add new things. And whenever I'm like, oh, it'd be cool if you could do this thing in the game, like I really want to add shapeshifting. Like there's druids, there's shaman, there's like a shapeshifting bear that you meet. Like I really want to like, the goal, the dream idea is like that bear asks you to like take him to a shaman in Bone Reach. And so when you get to Bone Reach, if you have that bear, you should find the shaman and you should be able to like talk to him. And the idea is that he teaches you how to shapeshift into the bear. So now you can shapeshift into the bear as a spell. So you cast the spell, you become a bear and you wreak havoc. You have like, 1200 health or something like crazy like that. Like you just like invincible for like, 30 seconds, a minute or something like that. And that'd be awesome. But the more I like look into like actually doing that, all of our systems are built around our humanoid character. All of our combat is like nothing is built around that. And it's very, which is like, I don't know. These are kinds of things like we would have had to think about from day one, right? Like to build this in. So it would have been a nightmare probably to set up regardless. But it's that kind of stuff where I'm like, it's so much harder to build in this game because we built everything in a way that it just doesn't like expand very well. Like nothing's built super expandable. So it's like trying to add more features and cool stuff in is just harder and harder to do every time I want to add it. And then adding like one thing breaks like a dozen other things because of like tiny changes that we don't even like recognize are happening. So I don't know, it's a lot of work. So if anything, Swords of Magic 1 could just be marketing and funding for Swords of Magic 2 like Splitgate. Yeah, and I'm not really like opposed to doing something like that. Like I would love to like start fresh and like rebuild this from the ground up and like make something really cool from it. But at the same time, like I've already invested 7 years in this game. We've been working on this since 2017. It's or late 2017, so almost 7 years, or almost 8 years. Sorry, 7 years, almost 8 years. In October, it'll be 8 years, and that's a big chunk of your life to work on something. And I have like hundreds of other ideas that I want to make into games, you know, like much more bigger, like grander, like epic games. And so I don't know, part of me is just sort of like, why keep like building onto this one franchise that I'm like kind of already frustrated with and don't really want to work on anymore, when I have so many other like ideas out there I can work on. Like this game has already funded like my life essentially. Like I do this for a living now, which is amazing, and I am so lucky to be able to do that. And so part of me is just sort of like, let's just get it out and finished, get to 1.0, call it done, say this is the game I made, and then take all that experience and any funding we have and all the free time I'm going to have then, you know, and start working on something else big and cool, you know. Like I know the next game is going to be better because I've learned so much from this one. So like, and I don't know if I want to like stick to the same IP, you know. I like the idea of just building something new and fresh and exciting that's like a different thing. And I have lots of ideas. I have a game kind of like that I really want to start working on, but I can't justify it yet. That would be another really big, cool, epic, like new IP entirely that I think we could kickstart and do everything with once we have this one finished. I feel we're gonna go straight to Swords of Magic 3. Yeah. Yep. That's what it is. Yeah, I don't know. I like Swords of Magic. I just don't know if I want to like keep working on this for another 10 years, you know? And if we did something bigger and crazier, like that's another 10 years easy. And I also like, I learned a lot of hard lessons with this game too, you know? Like one thing is I think we lose a lot of players because of our character style. Like we have these big square heads and like they're cute, but I think a lot of players like look at them and they're like, oh, this is a kid's game, you know, or this is like a Minecraft clone, or this is just like low poly, like, you know, low quality game art. And I kind of agree, you know, to an extent. And I wish that we would have done something different from the beginning. Like I wish I didn't make like the same game with like just a little bit higher like quality art would have been, maybe not quality, but like higher density art, like especially just in the characters, you know, would have changed a lot. Like I don't know, like all of our creatures are just kind of like, I don't know, some of the newer ones are fine, I guess. Like our horses, like because of our art style, like our horses like look super goofy, you know? Like I don't know, there's just a lot of like things that I wish we could have like changed so they didn't have such weird, and that character looks, or that horse looks really weird in that angle too. Looks better here, but still, I don't know, there's just like a lot of things that I wish I didn't have to do. Like it's all just like boxed together, you know, which is fine. It just, I don't know, I want to make something a little like something that like more players will look at and see like quality in, and not just like brush off because of the art style, you know. And like Swords of Magic 2 could do that. How's the 2D game coming along? It's kind of on hold while we do this update right now. We just kind of, I just kind of jump back and forth between the two games whenever I'm bored with one, which is kind of nice to be able to do. But we're trying to get an update out for the summer sale for Swords of Magic, for Steam, for Swords of Magic. So that's what we're working on today. And I have been working on it for the last few weeks. So Seeking Adventure has been kind of just on hold, but it's going well. We have a new update ready for it, actually, for to update the demo. We're just kind of waiting to do a little bit, just a bit of a marketing push for it when we do that. We'll get there. What genres do you want to try next? I actually want to do a survival crafting game. Which sort of means, it's sort of like in the vein of Valheim. but I also want, it's sort of like if you took, I don't know, I want to do like kind of like Dark Souls level combat. That's the plan anyway, as close as I can get to like, you know, that level of like really intentional, meaningful combat where there's a lot of like dodge rolling and parrying and stuff like that. And then mix that with like base building and exploration in like an open world. It'll still be handcrafted. I don't like the procedural generated like survival games like Valheim is. I think it just kind of like, I think it like it's fun when you start and then it just sort of like loses. I've lost interest in like the procedural content in Valheim like really fast, because once you've seen like one zone, then it's like they all look the exact same, and there's just not a whole lot of like difference. So Dark Souls plus Valheim would make me do things I'm not proud of. So the actual like big pull of the new game idea is actually that you would be playing. Have you ever heard of Redwall or Mouse Guard? You would be playing as like woodland creatures like mice, squirrels, frogs, maybe. And we're also thinking about mushroom people, just to add a little like magic to it as well. But yeah, the idea is that you play like little small like mice and stuff like that in a giant like act like realistic kind of world. Not super realistic though, it would still be stylized. Would that be 3D or are you pushing 2D? Oh no, still 3D. I actually decided I don't want to do any more 2D games. Seeking Adventure is annoying because of a lot of the 2D stuff. And I really love Unreal Engine. I don't want to leave Unreal Engine, so I don't think I'll be doing any more 2D games. If I did a 2D game, I'd want to partner with someone who knew what they were doing better. I don't mind making 2D art. In fact, I've been drawing a lot lately and I've been enjoying that, but I don't think I want to do another 2D game in Unreal Engine. So I'd want to partner with someone who knew like Game Maker or Unity or something really well. And then, yeah, that's the only way I'd be doing a 2D game. But no, this would be a 3D survival, like it would be a pretty big survival crafting, like Dark Souls kind of game. I think indie devs nowadays are obsessed with procedural generation. I haven't heard of those games. Oh, yeah, I don't know. I'm not a fan of procedural generation. I think it works really well in like roguelikes and stuff, but you just have to do it really, really, really well for it to work. And I know why they do it. It's just because it's so much easier to just click a button and your whole forest is generated, you know? And you can have infinite worlds and stuff with that. But I just don't think it's worth it. You know, like I'd rather explore a small world that is like handcrafted or like tons of little details and stuff here and there. And then let players like build their own stuff in that world, I guess, too. That like feels, I don't know, I just feel like that feels like so much more unique. Like I really love Conan Exiles and Ark. I think those are the two best like survival crafting games. I don't know, I guess Enshrouded is really good too. And Valheim is fantastic, don't get me wrong, but I think Valheim is fantastic for the building system. And like the content or the progression is really good at Valheim too. But Ark and Conan Exiles and Enshrouded are all handcrafted worlds that you explore, and it still feels amazing. Like it feels better to explore those worlds because you're going to find handcrafted interesting content than exploring Valheim because you know you're just running into more procedural stuff. So I think if you mix like the Valheim like building system with like a handcrafted world like that, and then you add on your own like spin on it, I think it's gonna be really fun. I'm excited. Every 2D game idea I start ends up becoming a 3D game. Yeah. I think 3D is easier to make, to be honest. Like one 3D model can go so much further than one 2D sprite, right? Like if I make a 2D sprite of like a tent, that's all it is, right? Maybe not a tent. Let's do a rock. Rock's a better example. That's all it is a rock, and it's like one shape in one area, and you can scale it a little bit, I guess, if you wanted to. But in 3D, like I can rotate this rock around. I can like smash it into other rocks to make more like unique things. Like you can't like overlap and smash like rocks together in 2D, you know? Like I guess you can kind of overlap them, but it's like it's not the same. It's not the same. Like I can scale this up as big as I want, which is how we got like all these cliffs and stuff. Like these are huge scaled up. But they like work. I don't know. It's just so much easier in 3D. And like making things look good in 3D is just easier too, especially in Unreal Engine, I think, versus 2D. I don't know. In my opinion, handcrafted is better as players find out ways. Yeah. I miss the older days when people debated where the best location on the map was to create a base instead of the entire proc gen world looking the same. Agreed. Yeah, totally agree. And like I think like Minecraft's probably like one of the best proc gen games that like actually makes that worthwhile, because you can still hunt for like an hour to like find a good place for a base, you know, and you can still find really cool things with like how the terrain's generated. But most games, like it just like Valheim like the proc gen in that game is just kind of like, yeah, I don't know, it just doesn't work in my opinion. I mean, I guess it works, it's just it's not, you can't hunt for an hour to try to find a really cool place to place your base, you know, like because it's all like, it's like, do I want to put my base in this biome or this biome? That's pretty much the question, you know. Minecraft is a glitch in the system. We don't talk about Minecraft. Yeah, it is weird. Okay, Thivra is done. Let's do a quest for Korok maybe. Korok is like a general goods vendor. Actually, Korok, I think so. I don't know what Korok sells. Yeah, I think like all kinds of stuff. We actually need to set up their shops too. Also, I'm trying to decide if we want players to be able to craft the weapons, the Rivari weapons, or to just buy them. I think they just buy them. Yeah, I think we're just gonna buy them. Maybe they don't even need quests. I don't know. We don't need a ton of quests in here. I just wanted to add something to this village. But having one quest there, and I think Hup gives you like a baby quest that's like, talk to me, and like you get a complete quest. But it would be nice to have another quest in here. Maybe like to defeat eagles or something. Actually, I think you already have to do that. We have a hunt a bear quest. We got defeat eagles. Yeah, I think it's fine. Let's just set up their shops. You guys are probably gonna get some spoilers from this though. We should put them on like some stumps maybe, or a table. We do a table. What do we do? Do we have like a log that's like half, like a split log? We don't. We should make one. Maybe we can use the giant hollow log to build like a cool like table thing. We don't have to do this, but it would be nice to have a table for him. And I just don't want to do the same table we've used everywhere else. I guess we can just use these stumps though. Yeah, it's probably fine. Let's use these stumps. Let's go like here. We'll move him here. Cool. Okay. These are right level, right? Yeah, it's fine. Okay, so the other guy sells weapons. This guy's gonna sell all the other things. This is gonna be... What are the other things called? It's a secret. Armor, fire, and life. Nope, that's not what I want. This one. And then we're just gonna duplicate that one actually. There are other things I wanted to sell here. But I think we might do recipes for like carpentry recipes. Because I wanted to sell like the rugs in here. Like I think these would be cool to have like in your own house. And they're like table and chairs. But I think these are gonna be furniture items that maybe we'll just like make them recipes to craft. So you just learn how to craft them. It'd be cool to craft this thing too. Just for fun. Maybe like these bone things would be cool. Right? There's a lot of cool stuff in here that like players might want to have in their house. Maybe these tents. We should just make some furniture items to just like that will be recipes. Plus it's just gonna be really hard to sell them as furniture items when you like, because they're just gonna be, you don't have the space in here to do it, so it'd just be better to sell them as recipes. Skyrim was actually my intention when arguing about base locations. Lakeview Manor, Enjoyers Rise Up. Wait, did you guys miss Skyrim somewhere? Oh, sorry. Yeah, in my opinion, handcrafted is better as players look for ways to become OP. Increases to repeatability of the game. Look at Skyrim. Yeah. Well, I think like procedural generated is okay for like that power fantasy, I guess. Because like you can still get really powerful. But like it's just harder to like gauge your power, right? One of my favorite things about like a game like this is that when you get to Delver's Pass and you're like, this is the end game area right now. You get to Delver's Pass here and you're like, man, look at these cool weapons I got, and I just got some like some new like spells or whatever, and I have like all these new buffs and everything now. And then you go back to Azura and like the power difference is this like huge gap, right? Like, so every time you like get new stuff and you get like better, you can compare really easily with where you came from by just visiting older locations. But in procedural content, like that doesn't really like, you don't really have that ability to do that because everything's just procedural. So it's like, and it's also like how much hard it's so much harder to like balance a game and like design around that power like creep, you know, over time. Like how do you build progression in a game where like everything's procedurally generated, so you don't even know what the players are gonna encounter next? The only thing you can like really do is just sort of like generate in circles, in like rings, right? And the further you go, the harder those rings are, and I guess that works. And then you do, I guess, have that sort of like that power dynamic too, where you can go back to the earlier rings. And yeah, I don't know. I just don't love procedural. I think for this game though, for the like woodland mouse creature game, whatever, I don't know what we're gonna call it. I actually have a name for it, but I don't want to reveal the name until I start working on it. Mostly because I just don't want someone to steal it because it's really cool. And also I just don't want it to be a thing, and I feel like the second I speak it into existence on the internet, then it's like a thing, and then I feel guilty that I'm not working on it, and I don't want people to get excited about it. So yeah, it's like I don't want to like go into too much depth about it yet. But I will probably be using procedural content generation using Unreal Engine 5's like PCG, which is procedural content generation tools, to build things, but it'll still be handcrafted. Like I will be like generating like how the forest is laid out and stuff. Then I'll go back in and like it'll still be like very specific, and that'll just help me like build bigger areas faster. And since like the whole point of this game is going to be like exploration and like, you know, building, like you're going to be building up like a town or an abbey or whatever, or an inn or whatever you want to build. Like we're probably just going to give players like 3 or 4 different like options for like what their homestead or what it's going to be. Anyway, So yeah, we'll probably use procedural content generation, but not like just generating like the whole world like that, which I think is going to work really well. Moving on. This is just to sell the totems, which is a spoiler, sorry. I think that's fine. But we need to decide how many we want them to have. Let's do 2 to 5 maybe. We do need to require reputation. Let's say 50. Let's position our sold out signs. That's great. That's fine. Custom currency item. Yes, we need this. They are going to be more spoilers. Sorry. And we're gonna make this like 15, maybe. Okay. And then this one over here is gonna be something special. I wonder if I can go over 100 for the price on these. Copy. Paste. Should have just duplicated this one and changed the things, but it's fine. Because I want to do like 150. Should we test it and see if we can do it? Let's take our reputation back down to 0 for testing. Are you actually a vendor? No, you're not. That sucks. You should be a vendor, but I don't have any ability for you to be a vendor right now. Do we have another vendor in town I can use? Yes, I think we can just use you. Are you an actual vendor? How are you guys? Who are you? Who are you? NPC Reina. Nope. Oh, she is. Okay. So she's going to take them then. What level is she in? She's in NPCs. If we all these to NPCs. We have to have a vendor that like actually like deals with them, and then she's the one that like will restock them, which is silly. There's no reason to do that. We should just have like a shop manager or something that just handles it, but we didn't do that, and now it's too late to like change it. So let's rename these to shop item underscore Rivari underscore gen goods, I guess. Okay. And then we grab Reina here and we find her stock. 1, 2, 3, and we go Rivari. Boom, all 3 of those. Cool. Now let's test them. Oh, I'm definitely 100% gonna spoil something right now. Hang on. I don't want to spoil it, sorry. It's too cool to spoil. I have stuff equipped that you cannot see yet. It's too cool. With AI, you can iterate 2D models quickly. Oh yeah, sorry, Mario. I don't know how I missed your message. I was not trying to ignore you. But I did. I 100% did. Yeah, AI can actually do 3D models now too. I won't use AI to do 3D models. And also, I don't think AI is like good enough yet for. I don't think AI is good enough yet to like justify or like do that yet. I mean, it can do it, but like I don't think it's good enough to make like consistent models. Sorry, I'm back by the way. Okay, I need 150 emeraldite for that. 15 for those. Let's spawn some emeraldite in. Just want emeraldite. Where is it? What? Fragment. There it is. Okay. I think it does work. Let's see. Oh wait. Dang it. I'm trying so hard not to spoil things. Hang on. Spoiling again. Hang on. Let me just go throw these off to the side somewhere. I can't just be carrying all this stuff around with me, I guess. It's dangerous. Okay, I think I got rid of all the spoilers. Okay, you guys can watch again. Sorry. Gotta bounce, but I'm trying to catch these streams more often. Cool, yeah, I stream every Tuesday and Thursday. Or no, Friday. Tuesday and Friday now, I just changed it. Okay, let's get rid of this one. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if I buy this. Oh. Bro, really? I thought I just set that to 0. I guess because I don't have any reputation, I don't even have 0. Okay, let's take the reputation off, I guess. Let's copy the reputation. Copy, delete it. Play. Okay, now we have 5 of these. Yeah, that worked. I don't know why I thought that wasn't gonna work, but it worked. We need to turn that hold down sign. Oh, I did get an error. Access none train read merchant. Why? I know you worked, right? I don't get it. I don't know why that was why that aired out. It might just be because of the level we're in, maybe, because it doesn't have a save system, so it might just not have like found her, or maybe she wasn't loaded in. Oh, you know what? That's exactly what it is. She wasn't loaded in. Dang it. I don't think I can make Korok a regular merchant guy. I think we have to cheat. Jana's gonna absolutely murder me though if I do this. No one tell Jana we're doing this, okay? This is a secret. We're just gonna put a merchant under the ground here. This is what we do sometimes. It's totally fine. Not a big deal. You guys didn't see a thing. Slopes are tough. Only a matter of time. Oh yeah, I agree. I do think, like, I don't know, like, I'm not super opposed to AI art and stuff, but I do think we need to find a better, like, way to handle it. I actually think, and I've mentioned this several times, I think the future of game development is going to be all AI generation, unfortunately, which kind of sucks because there's something like really nice about the craft of like building games like this, you know, that I really like. But I think in the future, I think games will no longer just be like, I don't think they're even going to be code. I think what's going to happen is just like we can like AI generate video. I think in like 50 to 100 years or whatever, video games will just be on the fly generated video with a lot of like memory, like remembering what's been generated. So as you're like walking through a forest, whatever, the forest is just being generated. It's just a video being generated as you're like walking through the forest. So I think everything's going to feel super like immersive and real. And because like the AI will just like fill in the blanks, right? So like the character can be like swatting at flies, whatever, walking or bugs, whatever, walking through the forest, and like a deer can like pop up, and like enemies can pop up, right? Like, and like you'll just be, I don't know how you'll control it. Maybe a controller, I don't know, maybe keyboard mouse. I'm sure in a 50 to 100 years we'll probably have some new interface, maybe just neural or something. But I just think it's going to be like all just generated on the fly instantly. And ideally, hopefully, it like has the ability, like I think like this won't happen if we don't have this ability. It has the ability to like remember everything's been generated, which sounds really expensive, but I think in 100 years it will be nothing. So like if you turn back around and you left a town or whatever, you can still see that town, right? And it'll like remember exactly what it looked like before, and nothing will change except for things that should change. They've already started doing that with Doom. Oh, really? Yeah. See this is what I've been predicting for like the last 5 years or so. Like I know this is the future. This is 100% where video games are going to go. Because like, what else would you do? Like if we can just generate things on the fly, like where else are you going to go? And someone made a version of Minecraft where it's all AI generated and it's super Oh yeah, I bet. We're not quite there yet. I think we're on the right track though. But honestly, like, I don't know. Like, I sort of feel like there's still a place for designers in a world like that. Because like you could just tell your like if it's gonna be like some AI game development generation system or whatever, or maybe you just have like one generic AI that does everything. But I'm sure there's like a prompt system where you're gonna be like, hey, I want to play a game. I want it to be set in a forest. I want to be a warrior. I want to fight monsters or whatever, and whatever. Like I'm sure the AI is just gonna just go, okay, cool, and then just generate something basic based on those things. But I still think there's gonna be a place, like a space for like developers to go in and be like, okay, we're gonna make a game. It's gonna be this and this. I want to build a system that's like this, like with this kind of thing. Like I think there's still a lot of places where like you can, just like you can like prompt engineer right now. So like you can go in and like build this huge, massive, long prompt about how you want to like make a D&D game work or whatever, and then have the AI like play this text-based D&D game, whatever, and generate on the fly. I think we're gonna be running the same, like almost the exact same thing but with video. I think it'll be the same thing. So I still do think there's gonna be a place for like designers, for like game designers, not necessarily artists. Maybe artists. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. It's kind of scary. It's kind of scary because a lot of what we know now is going to be gone. You know, like it's weird, but you know, it's just sort of like how 3D printing is taking over, and how like we moved from the printing press to the internet. You know, like all those things are just like pretty much archaic technology now. They're not going to be much different. Generating games like videos is not a very good approach in my opinion, but I can see an AGI using it as visual prediction of what its game might look like before it's done or even started. Why though, Sky? What do you think? Why do you think that would not be a good approach? What do you predict? Because I don't think code is going to be a thing, you know? Like I think we're going to evolve past code. Like there'll be code, but it'll be like humans won't even need to know what it is. It'll be like a totally different language. You know what I mean? Like humans won't be coding anymore in 20, 30 years. Like, I just don't think it's going to be a thing. Sometimes you look at the ground, then back up and everything changes. Yeah, exactly. That's like the biggest problem. Unstable, lacks actual logic, very expensive to produce. Well, now it is. I'm talking 50 to 100 years from now. I think that'll be like running a cell phone, you know? Like, I don't think it'll be a big deal at all. And I don't think it will lack actual logic, because I think the AI, if an AI can do that, the AI can track logic better than, like, a video game now will seem like playing asteroids. Like, think about how much logic and how many features are in like asteroids, right? There's practically nothing. You can turn your ship and you can shoot and you can blow up the asteroids, right? And then you can loop between, like, you fly up to the top of the screen, you loop to the bottom. That's the whole game of asteroids, right? So, but now look at how much more complex our games have gotten. And then like just think about, like, just talking to ChatGPT now. Like, GPT can already, like, remember, like, you can recall, I mean, I know it's not fantastic yet, but like, you can recall things that you've talked about like weeks or months ago even, right? Because it stores memory. And like, this has all evolved in like the matter of like a couple of years, right? Where we've gone from like AI chatbots being like absolute trash that just like recall things that other people have written and that's it. And now we have AI that can actually like generate in real time. So I think give it another 50 years and we're like, the memory problem isn't going to be a problem anymore, and the AI will be able to manage all of that logic for you, no problem, right? I think the AI will literally just be a game designer that will handle all of that stuff, right? I'm not saying it's going to be perfect. I'm just like, games now aren't perfect, you know? Like, I remember this thing, it's kind of crazy. I think it might have been Rasputin, who like has his wife like play games for the first time, she's like not a gamer, and she plays games. And I remember like, maybe it wasn't his videos, it might have been someone else's, but I remember one of the things that he mentioned that really stuck with me was she said that she was disappointed in, like, she thought games were going to be more immersive, like it was just going to be a bigger deal than it was. And she was disappointed when you couldn't like interact with everything and you couldn't do certain things like pick object up or pick up objects or like throw things across the room and stuff. Like, she thought you could do a lot more in these game worlds because they look so realistic and immersive. And then to find out like, oh, I can only interact with these, like a door and like this person in this room. I can't knock over this lamp and I can't sit on this couch and I can't, you know, do all this stuff. Like, she was disappointed with all that stuff. And I think that like, that's sort of like that technology we're at now, where you can only interact with the things that we specifically set up to interact with, which makes sense, is going to be like the difference between asteroids interaction now, where you can move your ship and shoot, like you have two controls essentially, and what you can do now in like Grand Theft Auto, right? I think the difference between those two games is like night and day, right? And now imagine 50 years from now with AI generation, and it's going to be like that same night and day difference. Like, you're going to be able to do anything you can think of in a video game, and because it's all just generating the video in front of you and it's so good at that, like, you don't even need logic. You don't need to know like you don't need to code in like what happens if I pick up and throw this lamp, because it knows what's going to happen and it'll just generate the video of what would happen and when that happens, right? Like, I don't know, I don't know. But I do have roadmap. Wait, hold on, let me catch up. Even big tech has said most of the new code going forward will be made by AI. Yep, and AI scaling is slowing down significantly already. I'm not very optimistic. Sky, I'm kind of in the boat that I hope that this AI trend just dies, because not that I'm like afraid of change, but I'm a little afraid of like AGI and like, you know, a supercomputer just deciding that we would be better off in, you know, that somewhere, you know, to be taken care of as like cattle or something. Because like, I don't know, the future with like an AI that just like wants to get its job done, can do that a lot easier without humans in the way, right? And almost any prompt you can give an AI, like an AGI, anything that you can give an AGI to like a task to do, protect humans, it doesn't matter what it is, right? There's a way it can interpret that or find it like a solution where it's like, well, if a human exists, it can shut me down. Therefore, we just kill all the humans and then I can do all do what I need to do, right? I think it's just that's like inevitable when it comes to AGI. So yeah, I kind of hope, part of me like really does want to like see AI just this as a trend just die off, and like everyone just goes back to like coding things by hand. And like, yeah, I want to see like advancements in tools and stuff. Like I want to see better game engines where we can like, you know, click a button and generate a forest or whatever. Like that would be cool. But like, I agree. I don't want to see a future where video games are just generated by anyone who wants to play one, just, you know, in a blink of an eye, and just like they're playing whatever game they want, because that kind of kills the creativity and like the passion I have for making games. Though I like the idea of like being able to make my own games like that instantly. I don't know. It does kind of kill the whole like the whole community and everything like around games. Like it destroys all of that. But I do have a roadmap for AGI that can do game development. It is much more complex than the current model of video generation, which uses human generated tags plus actual game videos to train a video generator. Yeah. As someone who works in the AI adjacent space, it is actually scaling rapidly. I can see a system where the AI builds like a rough map to keep track of where stuff should be, and then references that map as you move around the world, and generates images of stuff to keep it consistent. Yes, I think that's pretty much what we're gonna have. How that's gonna store that data, I don't know, but yeah, I think like the thing is, I think it's just gonna have to like get smart at figuring out what's important, right? And so if a player like stops and like looks at like a poster on a wall or something, or like a wanted poster or something somewhere that was just like backdrop, right? The cool thing about like this AI idea is that in a traditional game world, like if you had like a random wanted poster you just threw on the wall that was just art, right? Like we literally have a wanted poster in all of our farmlands that says like Senric the Sly or something, like wanted or something, and it has like a gold reward for like 2,000 gold or something. And it was just like a random poster we made for fun. And at one point it was like we should probably put him in the game, but we never did. So it's just a random like just some interesting junk. But in like this AI generated thing, like because it's like generated on the fly, if a player stops and looks at that poster, like now suddenly the AI can be like, okay, the player is interested in this poster, so let's generate content around this, right? And now that poster is now given like a priority, and now it can generate something like, okay, how's the player going to come across this guy or whatever, like, and it can build content on the fly based on what the players are interested in doing. If a player is like randomly stops and is just like, I want to build a house here, and they start cutting a tree down, now suddenly the AI can just be like, okay, now I'm gonna build there's now a building system in this game, and now players can chop a tree and they can start building walls around them or whatever. And I'm not expecting like this to be like super immersive, but I guess it also could just depend on what the player wanted, right? The level of that would be. So I'm just saying, like, I think as much as I agree that it would be cool if games were still built by designers, much like they are today, because you have a lot of control over it or whatever, I just think an AI generated thing is definitely the future because of things like that, because of the immersive content like being generated on the fly. The scaling with tons of money, but the return is diminishing. Pretty much just linear growth now. The models methods behind are essentially the same in the last few years, with some engineering side improvements. AI won't go away because governments need it to protect against other AI. Yeah, that's untrue. New models fork and are constantly evolving, especially newer diffusion models, and especially in the TTS space. Yeah, that's actually a cool idea. How would it know the player is interested in the poster and didn't just went AFK to grab a snack? Oh, yeah, I would know that for sure. Like, first of all, I think like it's gonna be a headset driven thing at least. That's like the very least to control. Like, it's gonna be like maybe not like a neural link necessarily, but it's gonna be like some sort of headset, and like the AI is gonna know when the player is like away, right, AFK, whatever. Like if you're actively looking at a poster, like you're probably gonna pick it up, right? And like that's the thing, right? Like you can like in this dream world where you can like do this kind of stuff, players are probably going to interact with anything, right? You can just reach out and pick up the poster, right, and look at it, and like I don't know. Like, I think it's just going to be pretty active. I think we're definitely getting into like, we're definitely going to be like, all games are going to be like, you know, immersive, like virtual reality experiences at the point. It'll definitely be a bit before an AI can compete with a well thought out game designer's game plan, to be honest. Yeah. But I think like that's the thing, right? Like if you look at like how games are made now, like again, let's compare like Asteroids or even like, I don't know, what's simpler than Asteroids? Pong, right? It doesn't matter. Like you could think of any like super old, like, you know, 8-bit game or whatever. Like think about the intention of the designer back then, right? And now think about the intention of our designers today and the complexity differences between the two. And now try to like imagine what games are going to be like in the future. So I think like back then games were kind of designed to be like almost like a mini game sort of thing that were like, that's as complex as you could get. So you wouldn't need to build, like you just built a very, very simple game loop, right? Like Space Invaders was you just move left and right, shoot monsters, right? Asteroids, you spin in circles and shoot monsters or shoot, oh my God, not monsters, aliens, but asteroids. And then like, you know, Pong, you just move up and down and reflect the ball, right? So like, I think that like our idea of what games are going to be is going to evolve drastically. And I think we're already seeing evidence of that. Like, I don't think that we're going to have like, I mean, we probably will, but I don't see a future where everything is going to be designed in a way that like we do now, because we won't have that limitation, right? The limitation right now is like, we can't just have a game where you can do everything, because obviously, right? There's obvious reasons why we can't just make a game where you can just walk over and pick up that bucket and like, you know, make soup in it, you know, like you can't do that kind of stuff because there are computational limitations that we just like, we can't account for every single thing a player might want to do. But in an AI generated thing where like the complexity is like, I mean, I assume these games would get more and more complex as you play them and you interact with more and more things. I think we're gonna get to a point where like a game doesn't necessarily have to be like this limited scope of like, this is what this type of game is. This is the scope of this game. This is like, these are the mechanics in this game. Like you wouldn't need to do that because, and we're not gonna like see games as that anymore. Just like we don't see games as like Pong going back and forth and like hitting a ball back and forth. Now we see games as like this interactive multimedia experience, right? Where you can run around and fight monsters and do all kinds of stuff. Like, I don't know. I just think that we're going to evolve and you can already see it because you already see games where it's like slice of life games, right? Like, or like immersive, like sim games, like truck driver sims and like farming simulators and stuff. Like we're already starting to see the evolution between games that used to be like Zelda, like on NES or Super Nintendo or whatever, where it was like very specific goals and like steps to get to those goals. And now we're seeing more like, this is just a slice of life and there's not really like a goal or whatever. Like, I don't know. I just think that the evolution of like what we think of games hand in hand with like what AI can generate for games or create for games is definitely the future. I don't know. I think it's gonna be totally different than we think it is now. Except me, I know everything. So it's going to be exactly like I think it is. I have it all right. You guys don't know what you're talking about. What tangent did I walk into? What's up, boss? Well, we made some progress today. Let's set up our weapon shop over here, I guess. Should we just make these? I don't want to put them on the weapon rack. Do you know why? Because they never freaking look good on the weapon rack. So let's just put a table out here. And this is where I really wish we did have like a big table. These guys just would not use like a regular table. Wait, hold on. What's this table? No, it's the higher. Maybe we just like, I guess we just do a couple of these, whatever. I know we're reusing content. We're reusing assets. Don't judge me, please. You know, I guess we don't need to be. We can just use the stumps. Nah, it's fine. It's fine. Okay, shop item. AI will be able to detect player mannerisms, like slight quirky movements of the mouse handling. I don't think we're gonna have mouse handling at that point. I don't think it's gonna be a mouse anymore. I think a mouse is actually a really strange, limited, like a computer mouse is this like weird middle ground between you and the computer, and I just think it's like we're definitely moving away from that eventually. But before AI can control, before AI can generate a video game, we will 100% have ways to control a screen without using a mouse. Like, I'm not saying it'll be a headset thing or even a Neuralink thing, but I think we're gonna have something. I don't know what it'll be, but there'll definitely be something, some advancement before then, I think. But still, yeah, I think it'll be more like eye movements, detecting eye movements or whatever. But like AI will definitely know, understand your intentions in this video game that's generating for you. And I think it's interesting because if you've ever played oh man, I can't think of a game right now. But there's games out there where the more you do certain tasks or whatever, it does it sort of modifies the game to benefit you in those ways or whatever, or to make those tasks. I don't know how to explain it. If you're okay, let's say maybe a fighting game against an AI, right? An AI opponent. If you keep doing a leg sweep or whatever, the AI will we can already use a behavior tree sort of system where the AI can predict, okay, they've done this 15 times, it's probably going to do it again. Let's counter that by jumping in and doing a dive kick or something, right? They already have ways to sort of do that sort of thing. Now imagine an AI that's actually intelligent. They can actually, maybe not necessarily intelligent, but maybe fake intelligent, whatever, but can predict your intentions. So maybe you're just I want to play a video game, and it's boom, here you go, and it's just puts you into a white room or whatever, and you're oh, I want to be in a city or something, and then boom, there's a city, and then you just start playing, and the AI could just pick up on what you want to do, right? By okay, he's going into a store. Boom, let's generate a store. What is this? What's the store gonna be? Oh, he walked into a clothing shop. He wants to buy clothes or whatever, right? So now you fill the room with, or the thing with clothes, whatever, and now the player can suddenly buy clothes and change his outfit, right? I think the AI can I think it'll just be generating whatever you want to do on the fly, and you can just evolve a game by just playing it. I don't know. Anyway. I don't know, the mouse has a really good precision in a really small form factor. Yes, right now, yes. Yes. But now imagine an even smaller form factor no mouse. You just think about what you want to click on. Not even have to look at it. You just know, imagine how much faster your coding would be if you could just think about what you wanted to say and it just did it, you know? I think we're misunderstanding how fast the human brain is to process things, and think about things. And then the crazy limitation that we have of moving our mouse to that location, clicking on it, right clicking, choosing an option, right? When I could just look at the shop actor and say, I want 2 shop actors here. Boom, boom, they're there. And then I already know what they want them to be. I want them to do these weapons, right? I think we're misunderstanding, you guys are, or you're not understanding how, if we have the technology to a neural technology or whatever, how crazy fast that would be. And how much more efficient that would be than having to I don't know, compare an analog stick on a controller to oh, I'm moving to the left, I'm moving to the left, okay, now I'm moving down, right? You have to move the mouse at a certain speed, and even the mouse is still limited by your speed and your dexterity or whatever, but your brain wouldn't be and even your eyes are not, right? You just look at the shop actor and I look at where they're going to be, and within half a second I have both my shop actors where I want them to be. I don't know. I'm getting really in the weeds here. The human brain is slow, but the parallelization is insane. 10 hertz, but trillions of them working at the same time. Yeah, and that's Yeah. And I don't think multitasking is, I don't think we'll see a lot of multitasking come into play with like that kind of stuff, but I do think that just like your brain thinking about what you want to happen, and as long as within the scope of the software, I think that's just that's easy. Wonder how hard it would be to build a game that has a lot of components and have an AI that can use those components to build like quests on the fly. Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. I think that's way more in scope right now than it ever has been, right? Like you can easily do stuff like that right now. It might take a lot of like prep work to build all the components you need, but you could definitely do it. I think creativity, whether from a programmer or a game artist, in the end will always be what makes a game great. Everyone can use AI tools, but it's more so about the prompt engineering. Yeah, I think especially right now, but also if you think about like, I don't know, if you go in and like generate an image, I don't know, if you, like just go ask GP or Midjourney to just like give it like /imagine and then just type in like an abstract concept, right? And like it could be anything, you know, like lust or something. It's just like the first thing to come to my mind for some reason. Like or jealousy or something. Like it's gonna create something, and it's gonna be based on everyone else's creativity, obviously. But I still think for the majority of people who are engineering that prompt, that is probably not, that's probably outside of the realm of their imagination could have done, right? Like for the average user, right? Like you obviously have a handful of artists in the world, like, and by handful I mean like millions of artists in the world who are like really creative and really good at what they do, and they can imagine something in their head and then bring it to life on paper or whatever, or digitally or whatever. But like for the majority of people, like that creativity is not available for them. So when you're thinking about like AI generated things, if you are the type of person who is like super creative and like makes video games and makes art or whatever, like me or probably most of you guys, like maybe AI is always going to fall a little bit short because it's like, it's not going to be as creative or interesting as what you want it to be. But for 90% probably of the world, like the AI is already doing things that they never could have dreamed of, right? And so like, and that's all that matters when it comes down to it. Like, and the people like us, we're gonna be able to use AI way more specifically, right? So if we want a game where you're playing a, you know, the general of a fish person army or whatever, like, because that's some creative thing that we've come up with that we think sounds cool, the AI can run with that and start doing things, right? And you can add stuff in as you go based on your prompts, whatever. So I don't know. I just think like, I don't know. I think it's easy to say like AI is not going to be as creative as people are, because you're right, but because it's built on people, but because there's so many people it's built on now, and so many like art creation stuff is built on, we're just getting like this the best of the best, like generic creative. I don't know. I'm not explaining it. We're really in the weeds here. Sure, we'll get rid of mice in 200 years. I think it's gonna be less than that. We'll see. Hard to believe people will not opt into retina scanning from like a webcam. Oh, that will opt into it. It's basically the Nemesis AI from Monolith Studios. May I ask what AI-related fields you are working in? The human brain is slow. Generative AI image generation into post-production workflows, expanding into TTS models for voiceovers. Multimodal LLM utilization, I guess, or actual model development. Training. Using a video generator plus AE, that kind of thing with TTS model generation voices as well. Cool. Anyway, let's work. Guys, you make this so difficult. Oh man, did we not set up all the Rivari weapons? I hate this stuff. Like, I don't want to build all this. This is the stuff that Jana used to do when she worked on the game. This is a Rivari Gauntlet. It looks like we don't have one. A static mesh one. Nope. Let's make one real quick. Go away. All right, I guess I have to go make all these weapons first before we can do this, and that's an off-stream thing, because it's just super tedious work. But it's 3 o'clock, and I haven't had lunch yet. We've been live for 2.5 hours. I think I'm gonna take off. I guess we can go try to find someone to raid really quick. Let's go raid. Ooh. We'll go raid. Ooh. This looks cool. Let's go here. I don't think we raided this person before. Okay, we got a couple minutes before the raid ends. Anyway, thanks for chatting with AI with me, guys. That was definitely not distracting at all. We definitely got everything done I wanted to get done today. No, actually, we only need one quest, and I would like to make maybe a second one. I think we're gonna have a quest before, like, the main quest thing that happens in this area. So there will be like probably 2-3 Rivari quests, which I think is fine. I think there's enough quests in the zone already. It doesn't need to be crazy build quests, but maybe we could do one more. We'll see. I think it's cool enough to just unlock like the shops and like a couple quests and being able to like talk to the Rivari and stuff. Maybe we'll have some like hints about secret stuff, because there is going to be a couple secret things in this update too. Anyway, I'll be back on Friday. I don't think anything's going to stop me from streaming my regular time on Friday. I think we're kind of in clear now. I think Jana's PTA stuff is kind of cleared up. Though she is going to be working more, I believe. She mentions maybe taking more hours for her job lately. So we'll see if that works or how that plans out. But anyway, thank you guys so much for hanging out. I appreciate it. And I will catch you next time on Friday. Have a good one. Take care.